Welcome to the Modern Communicators Playbook, Strategies for Navigating Polarization, Crisis, and Conflict. In today's complex communications landscape, organizations face unprecedented challenges that demand strategic thinking and resilience. The foundation of organizational resilience rests on three essential pillars. First, political intelligence, understanding the landscape before you act. Second, a values-based framework that anchors every decision. And third, empowering internal ambassadors who can authentically represent your organization. Together, these pillars create long-term resilience that withstands even the most challenging environments. Today's corporate landscape has fundamentally changed. The lines between business and politics have blurred significantly. Executive orders during recent administrations have directly impacted corporate operations, from trade policies to workplace regulations. At the same time, consumers increasingly expect brands to take stands on social issues. Consider American Eagle's experience with politicized advertising, a case study in how even traditional retail campaigns can become lightning rods in our polarized climate. We're also witnessing truth decay, accelerated by artificial intelligence. AI-generated content can create convincing fabrications, like the recent case of fake authors generating thousands of product reviews. This disinformation spreads rapidly across digital platforms. The solution requires proactive narrative defense and rigorous verification processes to protect your brand's credibility. Understanding the neuroscience of disagreement reveals why polarization feels so intense. When we're in agreement, our brains operate in an open, receptive state. But during disagreement, our neural pathways shift dramatically, triggering defensive responses and closing off collaborative thinking. This biological reality shapes every difficult conversation. Here's a surprising paradox. People expect cross-partisan interactions to be far more negative than they actually are. Research shows that anticipated negativity rarely matches reality. When people from different political perspectives actually engage, the experiences are markedly more positive than expected. This gap between expectation and reality offers hope for bridging divides. Recognizing conflict escalation early is crucial. Watch for three key behavioral cues. First, increased volume and intensity in speech patterns. Second, rigid body language and closed-off postures. Third, language that shifts from collaborative to combative. These signs indicate a conversation is moving from productive to destructive territory. But here's a powerful reframe. Your adversaries can actually catalyze growth. Opposition forces you to sharpen your arguments, test your assumptions, and strengthen your position. Critics provide valuable feedback that internal teams might hesitate to share. Rather than viewing adversaries as purely negative, recognize how they drive organizational excellence and continuous improvement. Establishing psychological mastery requires two key strategies. First, turn your strengths into sustainable advantages by continuously evolving your capabilities. Second, understand the influence triad: credibility at the foundation, empathy in the middle, and logic at the top. This pyramid ensures your messaging resonates on multiple levels. When managing high-responsibility crises, situations where your organization is clearly at fault, accommodative postures are essential. Accept responsibility quickly, communicate transparently, and focus on rebuilding credibility through concrete actions. Defensive responses only deepen the crisis and extend the recovery timeline. To de-escalate polarization, avoid certain behaviors. Don't dismiss concerns. Don't respond with defensiveness, and don't treat disagreement as a threat. Instead, adopt these approaches. Seek to understand before being understood. Acknowledge valid concerns even when you disagree, and focus on shared values rather than divisive positions. Architecting a resilient communications function requires three strategic pillars. First, embed political intelligence into your planning process. Monitor the environment and anticipate shifts. Second, anchor decisions to a clear, values-based framework that guides consistent responses. Third, empower internal ambassadors at every level who can authentically communicate your organization's purpose and values. Finally, the mandate for modern corporate communication is clear. Forge shared purpose amidst polarization. In a fractured landscape, organizations must find and articulate common ground. This isn't about avoiding difficult topics. It's about connecting diverse stakeholders through authentic, values-driven communication that transcends division. Thank you for exploring the Modern Communicators Playbook. These strategies will help your organization navigate complexity with confidence and build lasting resilience.